We call this an active recovery day. Saturdays are great, okay? Active recovery means you go for a walk, you do chores, you go to the grocery store, you bike, stretch. As long as you're moving, we call it active recovery, okay? So Saturdays are great days for active recovery, and that's what we're calling today, okay? But besides that, super sore, hopefully you guys are, my hamstrings are so tight, and so I wasn't feeling like doing a workout, hence the active recovery, okay? But we're gonna do a foam roll session. So this is called myofascial release, myofascial release, I think that's how you say it. Self-myofascial release. What it is your, around your muscles, you have tendons, or not tendons, like fibrous sheaths that get really tight and you get a muscle knot. And so when you roll those sheaths out, the fibrous tissue around the muscle, it releases and relaxes and it gets rid of knots. It releases the tension, makes you feel better, recovers your body, okay? So we're gonna call, if you're tracking your watch, or tracking your exercise sessions on your watch, you might have like a stretching session. That's what you're gonna wanna pick. But besides that, I'm gonna show you a couple different things you can use. Obviously, if you know what a foam roller is, this is a vibrating one. Love it, highly recommend. There's also just like your regular foam roller. So this is just nothing fancy, just a foam roller. This one is like the trigger point one. There's different levels of how hard it is. So like this is a squishier one. If you have super tight, squishy might be better. This is a harder one. It's gonna get deeper, but it might hurt if you're really tight. If you have a massage gun, any kind, massage gun, also great for myofascial release. If you have a lacrosse ball, or this is like another vibrating foam roller, just a circle, so it works different. Or a softball, very painful as well. Lacrosse ball is a little bit softer, but still any type of ball. If you have a stick, this is like a stick. You can do the same thing. You're pushing on your muscles with a stick, heavy duty. We had this one's from Europe, very fancy, okay? We had a plastic one and we broke it. So we got the indestructible one from Europe. Fantastic. You can also freeze that one. If you don't have any of those, if you have this is a Hydro Flask water bottle, take the top off, or an Nalgene water bottle, also supposedly indestructible, take the top off. Any of these should work great, okay? Whatever you have at your house, go find something, but we're gonna do a little myofascial release. I like my vibrating foam roller, and I'm gonna turn it on. So we're gonna start with the glutes, because that's what's sore. So you're gonna sit on whatever you have and you're gonna roll from your low back to your high hamstring. So go low back to high hamstring, and notice I'm slightly tilted into that glute muscle. So you don't wanna be, you could flat. Honestly, whatever feels good, wherever you find a muscle knot. So flat feels good, but if I lean into it just a little bit, I feel a little bit more muscle tension, knots through my glutes. So if you find a knot, you're gonna sit do smaller movements on that spot. You're just trying to get the fascia to release the muscle, to decrease the knot, make it feel better, and stop pulling on your joints, causing pain. So roll out each glute, and then roll out your other glute. Okay, then you have on your hip, you have a bone in the side of your hip, and you have a bone side of the hip and top of the hip bone. In between that spot, so find your bone, the side of your hip, find the top bone. In between that spot, you can release those muscles teeny tiny. So you're gonna go here, and you're gonna roll forward on the roller in between those spots. I'm telling you, if you roll the bone, it's gonna hurt. Go back. So find the spot between those two points on your bone and go forward through the roller and backwards And you could do small movements, like little teeny tiny movement, and then roll back, teeny tiny. And if you're not super sore through that spot, good for you. And then do that same thing on the other side. So find the two hips points. You have a bone on the side and then your high hip bone. And you're gonna lay forward and backwards between those two spots. And this is where you can kind of go up or down. Just stay at small movements between those two points. This is the hip flexor work that we did this week to release the hip flexor. Feeling good. So painful. Okay, once you're feeling good on your glutes, hips, we're gonna do our hamstring. So you're gonna put the foam roller on the bottom of your arm. I like to stack my legs on top of each other. You just get a little bit more tension, pressure. So you gotta lift yourself up. It's also, this is where the workout comes in, okay? So you're gonna pull back, feet are off the ground, pull back to about, I like to go below my knee. If the knee's super painful, maybe not, but the hamstring attaches right below the knee. So to get the whole thing, you might wanna roll forward. If not, just go right above the knee. This is where, oh my goodness, I'm so sore, my hamstrings hurt so bad. So on a vibrating foam roller, if it's like too painful, you can turn down the vibration. And if you have a hard foam roller and that's the only thing you have, good luck. No, just kidding. Just lift yourself up a little bit more so you're not putting as much pressure with your body weight onto your foam roller. That's how you make it not as painful. And then you're just going up and down on the muscle. Turn like your foot to the outside and you're gonna roll the outside lateral portion of the hamstring. I'm gonna have to go review my anatomy. There's like specific terms for the outside portion of the hamstring. Because I'm like, I think it's vastus lateralis. But that also may be the side of the quad. So I gotta go check. Either way. And then you're gonna roll inside the hamstring, point your toes inside. Again, if it's too painful, just lift yourself up. Don't put as much pressure on. And then if you find a knot in your muscle where it's super painful on one spot, just go forward and backward, small movement on that spot. Oh, gonna cry. Once you're feeling good on one side, do that same thing on the other leg. So if you stack your legs on top of each other, you're gonna get more pressure through the hamstring or onto the hamstring. So if you aren't super tight, then put more pressure on it. I'm extremely tight through my hamstrings. This hurts so bad. It's always one of those things where it feels better when you're done, but it never feels great pain when you're rolling out or getting rolled out. It's so painful. Okay, then you're going to, once you're feeling okay on the hamstrings, mine are still tight, but moving on. IT band on the side of your leg, same thing. Find the hip bone, you don't want to roll over the hip bone, and you don't want to actually roll over your knee bone joint on this one. So you're going to go right above the knee. So you're going to be on your side. Top leg is going to bend in front of you. That way you can lift your body weight up if it's too much pressure, and you're going to roll to right above the knee and below the hip bone using your hands. So you're pushing yourself away and you're pulling yourself to my feet off the ground. If your IT band is crazy, crazy tight, you can lift yourself up with your leg bent in front, lift yourself up your body weight off that, your IT band, which is your iliotibial tract, which is another fibrous sheath that goes into a muscle. And then same thing on this one. It's like, oh, I found a spot that's super, super tight. Just go small movement on that spot. We're just trying to release that one tight portion of your muscle. If everything else feels good, you don't need to roll it, but find a spot and release it. On this one too, you can kick your leg. If you roll down, bend your knee so your heel's towards your butt, and then when you go out, kick away. So bend in, kick away, roll off. Bend in, kick out and away, roll out. Bend your knee when you roll the roller up towards your butt, and then kick your foot out as you go out and away. So painful. This is, it's good for you. It's good for you. Just keep telling yourself that it's good for you. Okay, then I always roll just forward to do my quad, and then we hit the other IT band in a second. So you're gonna go to your hip, and then down right above the knee, go to the hip, and then below the knee. Still using your hands or rolling yourself, pull yourself. And then use your foot. So you're gonna, if you point your foot in, you're gonna hit the outside of your quadricep. And if you point your toes out, you're gonna hit the inside of your quadricep. Hopefully you're playing some good music, because maybe you guys aren't as sore. I'm really, really sore, and this is so painful. If you put music on, then maybe you don't have to think about how painful this is. Okay, good as it's gonna get. Then do your other quad. So above the knee to below the hip. And go again, above the knee, below the hip. So do the inside of the leg by pointing your toes out. And then do the outside of the leg by pointing your toes in. Roll off. Rollers little. Same thing on this one. If you roll the roller up, bend your knee, and then roll away, kick out. Bend the knee, kick out. So what that does when you bend your knee in and out is it elongates or stretches the muscle, and then it bends, shortens the muscle, and so it's helping that contraction, flexion of the muscle, tries to help release and elongate and release the tension in the muscle. Okay, then I gotta do your other IT band. Now which one did I do? I think I did that one. I don't remember now. There, everything's tight. So do your other IT band. The thing about the IT band is if you don't roll it out and give it some love or stretch it, what it starts to do is because it connects from your hip down to the side of the knee, it starts to pull on your knee joint, and you get knee pain because this is so tight, it starts to pull. So fun fact, if your knees are bugging you, roll out your IT band and see if it's tight. Or your hip, sometimes it'll pull on the side of the hip, pulls you out of alignment. Okay, good enough for me. I'm done. Okay, then you're gonna do your calves. So, because the calves are smaller, you might not have crazy tight calves. We're gonna do the same thing. Put a calf on the roller, and then you're gonna stack your legs on top of each other. You have to lift your body up with your arms, and then you're gonna go forward to behind the knee, and out, And this is another one where you can point when you're pulling the roller towards your ankle and then flex on your way up. So point, flex, point, and then just hit different sides of your calf muscle. And go all the way down to your ankle. Getting the soleus, that's where I get tight. My calf's actually pretty good, but my soleus, which is calf muscles on the outside. Soleus is sandwiched between your calf and your bone. Soleus is in between there. And it goes a little bit lower. So this is calf, this is soleus. So hit them all, point, flex. Remember, if you find a knot, just forward and backward on that one spot. Try to get it to release. This is where your workout comes in because you have to lift your body weight up, working your arms, and I'm starting to sweat. Okay, if the roller, you can take a stick, doing that same thing with a stick. You're just going up and down. Do it that way. Moving your leg. I like to hold the stick and move my leg forward and backwards. The other way to do it is a little bit trickier. You don't have as much range of motion, but between here, because you can't get all the way up to the knee, but you can roll this way if you want to push, have something to push against. Love it and I hate it all at the same time. So great. Okay, doing the bottom of your foot next. So once you've got your calf, my vibrator is dead, so I'm still gonna use it. But you're going, take bottom of the foot, and you're just gonna roll out your foot. See if you get any crunchies. A golf ball on the bottom of your foot is another way. Lacrosse ball, golf ball, smaller. Okay, you feel good until you start rolling out, and then you're like, wow, I didn't realize my foot was that tight. Then we're gonna do the shins. This is your anterior tibialis, the front. So you have to point your toes towards each other, because if you don't, you're gonna roll out your shin bone. So the bone is on the inside of your leg, and towards the outside of your leg you have muscle. We wanna hit the muscle. So point your toes towards each other. I'll show you from the back. So toes pointed in towards each other, and then you're gonna roll forward and backwards. Point your toes to each other. And lean on one side or the other side. Same thing, if you get tight, find that one spot and just go smaller movements over that knot. See if you release it. Okay, then we're gonna do our back. So you're gonna start from your low back, sit on it, and then I like to go hands behind your head, but whatever, you can go to the side. Going all the way up to your neck, and then roll it all the way back down to your butt, or high, low back, top of the glutes. Use your heels. So I don't know if you can see. Use your heels. You're gonna pull yourself with your heels, and then push yourself out. And then on this one, you can lean in towards one side. You're gonna hit the side of your back. Sound like one of the robot voices. Epic. Then do that same thing on the other side. Lean into it from the other side. Just because you have muscles around your spine, so it kind of puts more pressure on those muscles rather than just more pressure to massage out, get the knots out. Sure. Oh yeah, don't, you probably already did it, but You gotta do a bun hairdo or a ponytail because you always, when you go to roll, you roll up your hair. Done that before, it hurts. Pull your hair. Okay, then we're gonna do your lat muscle, so that's down your side. You're going to go arms straight and pull back into it, and then push away. And you don't want to be completely on your side, that's your ribs. So go slightly to the ceiling with your chest, and then roll. So you're at an angle, so we're getting the back not completely on the side. And you can go all the way up to your armpit. You're hitting your infraspinatus muscle. Upper back on your scapula. Gonna do that same thing on your other side. Hit your lat, same thing. You want a slight angle, come not completely to the side. You want to be leaned back just a little bit. So you hit your back, arm straight. Okay, I'm rolling all over the place. Okay, then if you have a long roller, it's a little harder to do this with a short roller, but you can lay on it here. So if you had a longer one, it would go underneath your butt, and you can lay on it with your head, and you're just gonna move side to side with the roller. So again, hitting the muscles around the spine. And then I like to pull all the way to my armpit from the top, so roller's under my armpit, and then roll it back to the middle of the back, and then go the other direction. So you're going here, using your legs, using your heels, roll it. Just releases the upper back trap muscle. Which on me, that spot gets so tight because of like office work, we're always hunched over here. So when you release it, it helps keep your form, posture. Okay, the other way to do that is, instead of rolling, is you just leaning, put the roller in your armpit, and you're going movement, like my butt's on the ground. So just small movement, leaning back, hitting the armpit. And then I haven't found a great way to do the neck. The best way I found with the foam roller is to lean into it. So you're gonna put your arm across and you're gonna lean into it this way and kind of have to go upside down, but that will help get your neck if you push into it. That's the best way I've been able to find to do it. If you have like a gun, it's obviously gonna be easier to just massage it. But if you don't, you want to put pressure into it. Scramble the brains with the vibration. Okay, then we're gonna lay on your stomach with the roller, and you're going to go into an angle. Let me show you. Roller's gonna be angled like this at your chest. So arm's gonna be out, roller's gonna be angled, so not horizontal, not vertical, 45-degree angle. And you're gonna put your arm out and then hit your pec muscle. So front of the armpit, roll forward, backwards. I'm not moving my body, I'm just moving my arm. I'm gonna do that same thing on the other side, keep it at the angle. So go into your pec, bicep. So if you want to do your bicep, go a little bit farther out. Same thing, just go side to side. And then you can hit, this one's a little awkward, but you can hit the tricep forward and backwards. I've also seen it like, I can't remember if I this way. It's just a little harder to get to. But you can do the back tricep, back of your arm. You can do your forearms like this. Just depends on what you need that's tight. Okay, that's everything. Unless you want to hit your guts here and let it sit on, which I've heard different ideas about, but kind of helps you. Like your stomach gets tight, it's a different type of massage. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Obviously spend extra time on if it's like, oh, I might hit my IT bands again or my hamstring, because that's where I'm super tight. Wherever you're super tight, you could hit again once you feel good. A little sweaty, about 25 minutes. 134 calories, killing it. Okay, happy Saturday evening. Have a great weekend. I might see you tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see.